Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. The title of today's stream is Breaking Badly. Is 100K safe? Well, I guess we're going to talk about that and a whole bunch of other things. Structure looks a little bit vulnerable, as it typically does. After months of ranging and not a whole lot happening, we seem to be getting a nice little sell-off here. I will say it is not all doom and gloom. We were talking on yesterday's show at length about stablecoin dominance charts and needing to take out some unfortunate highs that were left behind, which have now been cleaned up. So all things considered, I think if we are going to be carving out a bottom, it should be from somewhere in this vicinity, which would, of course, then be a top for something like tether dominance. More or less just a perfect negative correlation. So, guys, we're going to talk about our expectations for the market and then some. But do me a solid before we get too deep into the stream. Hit that like button early on. Let's get it out of the way. Show some love. Show some support. We are here during the good times, the bad times, the ugly times, the prosperous times, and everything in between. Show some love. Show some support. Tucker, what are you seeing out there? How are you feeling about the market? Is it more over than it's ever been, or are we about to be so back in a big way?
It's a good question. I mean,
that's why I asked it. Thank you.
It's it's pretty rough looking right now. Pretty rough looking. This was nice though that you just talked about, right? These equal highs on USDT dominance getting swept right now. Obviously, we've got some candles to close, but I do like that. I do like that we're actually trying to sweep these highs right now. I think if you do fail here, sorry, I was getting a phone call. If you do fail here, that's going to be a pretty major bottom and higher low for crypto. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think things have looked better, obviously, but I think it's possibly higher low time. I don't know if ETH really needs to go below 1800 or sorry, 3800.
1800. I'm Tucker. What's happening today? Is like, are you having these intrusive thoughts and you're saying them out loud on accident? Like what?
1800? No, 3800. Oh, sorry. I think I might have.
I'm gonna give you a hack right now. Do you want to know what the hack is?
What?
You're an iOS enjoyer, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
There is a little moon icon that when someone calls you, it just suppresses it, right? Just like the criminals are suppressing the price.
Here's the problem.
You can suppress incoming calls.
I locked my wife out, Max. I gotta run outside real quick. I'll be right back.
Are you serious?
Just give me 2 minutes.
All right. I'm taking over. Solo market check from your boy. Well, guys, my team has left me. I'm on an island all alone. I'm basically Tom Hanks in Castaway right now. I'm gonna put the team on my back. Okay, I'm gonna put the team on my back right now. We're gonna do this thing. So here's what we're looking for here, right? ETH has more or less come back into this July high, guys. Now, I know it's not fun, but from a structural standpoint, there's nothing wrong with this, right? Like, we are very much so in a high time frame uptrend. We'll just keep it super simple, right? Impulse correction, impulse micro correction, impulse correction. You are still very much so in a high time frame structural uptrend. And I really do like that we came back and Tucker's back now. My boy is back.
We're back.
What we were talking about yesterday, guys, was this chart. Okay. So we're going to actually even mark these up together. These were drawings from our Discord call this morning. But what I was saying to you guys for weeks is, like, I was so uncomfortable with how they left behind these equal highs on tether dominance, right? They left these behind. they never leave behind a high on this chart. Like it's just, they just scam you over and over and over again when you least want them to, right? At the most inopportune times. So when I look at this chart, I say, all right, like supply overhead swept the equal highs. In theory, this should be, the sweep and then rejection that we're ultimately looking for to reverse. If we zoom way in here, I could see, let me go even lower. I could see a world in which if they really wanted to, they could take out some, these local highs here again. They don't have to, right? Like I could see this red box getting hit, but I think what we're working on here is we are working on putting in a top on tether dominance and a bottom on crypto. So let's put up ETH down below just as reference, and you can see that perfect negative correlation. I'll change the candle colors as well, just so nobody forgets what we're looking at, and then we can wildly speculate on the price action to come. Okay, so if we're thinking that tether dominance is more or less trying to put in its top, right? And this in theory should be deviation. We could call it a PO3, where this is your like chop solidation range. And then, this is going to be your deviation. And then we'd be looking for a breakdown into, some expansion, potentially even down into here. And here, I'll make this a different color here. We'll go purple, right? Then on the flip side of that, you could expect the inverse from Ethereum, which is exactly the scenario that we were talking about on this show, on X, in our Discord for weeks. The chef is in the house.
There he is.
Apologies.
No, you're good.
So it would make a whole lot of sense for this to be your topping structure. And again, I'm open to the idea of spending a little more time up here. To me, it doesn't really matter too much because this is exactly what I was looking for to basically mark our top for tether dominance, stablecoin dominance, and then our bottom for crypto. So I think it's early to call it. Like, to be more conservative, you probably can wait for, like a market structure break, like here, get ETH above, 40, let's just say even 4,100, and then maybe a little throwback. And then on the flip side of that, you could certainly wait for tether dominance to lose these lows here. But we're trying to put in a top here on tether dominance, and we're trying to carve out a bottom on ETH. So this is exactly what we were anticipating and waiting for, right? Basically setting your high time frame swing low late in Q3, getting ready for hopefully a pretty bullish looking Q4. So I wouldn't say there's really any major reason to be concerned. I think it's coming into some pretty important levels here. And then again, looking at Ethereum, we'll just zoom out a little bit here, marking out our high time frame levels. You had a perfect retest of, this July high right here on ETH, like a perfect retest of it. So you've cleaned up all these lows from, this month-long chop solidation. You swept the equal highs on tether dominance. I think that this is a pretty premier spot for a reversal. I do. And I think it can take a little bit more time, but the point of me showing this is like I'm firm in this opinion that the bulk of this downside is behind us in crypto. Maybe we can spend a little more time dinking around here, but I think that the bulk of the downside is behind us. And I think this is where you should be now looking to, if you had hedges on the board or you have cash and you're looking to get more deployed. I think that these levels are going to end up aging pretty damn well. So I'll stop monologuing so we can have more of a discussion, but that's generally how I'm viewing things. I'm viewing this as a pretty solid setup for a reversal through the remainder of Q3 heading into Q4. All right.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I don't know. I think, like you said, if those equal highs get swept and lost, I think that's a pretty decent signal. So,
And that'd be like 4.56. Like if we see tether dominance, start to roll over and then break back below these lows, 4.56, 4.55, I think you can see some pretty aggressive nuking out of stablecoin dominance and a pretty swift recovery from something like ETH. I'm prospecting this being, your deviation low, very much so.
yeah.
But it's early to call it. Like you might as well at this point wait for maybe a little bit more confirmation. But I think there's a decent setup brewing here, personally.
So basically, we went from one more sweep of the lows to go onto USDT dominance chart and say one more sweep of the highs.
I can neither confirm nor
They are
deny.
not the same.
Jeff, what do you think? Because I saw
Yeah.
you posted this morning on your X account that you did take profits on a nice short for ETH. So, given your perfect track record that you've never been wrong once, I mean, I think that would be a bottom. No?
Hopefully.
Guaranteed financial advice with full rebates from you, Chef, right?
I think we are closer to the bottom than to the top. And I think the meat of the move has been done here. I'm very eager to see the fear and greed index released tomorrow, just out of curiosity. But I already, I've opened up the For You page, and trust me, the For You on X is horrible. That algo, what it's feeding me, is just terrible. It's all just bearish propaganda, calling for a cycle top, deviation of ETH above 4K. We will never pump again, stuff like that. I think most of the August September correction should be done. I think there could be more local sweeps. I think what I would personally love is actually ETH closing and trading like sub 4K for a few days. That would be perfect. But then I think Q4 seasonality kicks in, and we will reverse again. So yeah, but it's been annoying. It's been annoying time in crypto. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I really would not want to see Bitcoin like lose those lows at 107, man. That would be that would not be a good look. I'll say that. Because you kind of have equal lows there too. So.
Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. look at all the lows, man. Look at sweep. More sweep.
Yeah.
Look at one.
They are so cute when they fight.
They are so cute when they fight. The cutest. They're so cute when they sweep all the lows.
Yeah. I mean, I think crypto is waiting for stocks kind of to unload its mid time frame correction maybe, and then it's kind of ready. We know that crypto has been front running stocks in the past, and I think this is not different. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've cleaned up our daily profiles here, guys. Like it's incredibly clean. Like we've I mean, the bracketing has been obviously frustrating, but like we are cleaning it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not too bad. Let's see here. Weekly. Not bad. I mean, let's throw this bad boy on there.
Once again, it's the time that's taking the most out of people. When you think of this BTC correction, that I would label it started in that first high in July, that post breakout high, not the second sweep. This correction is taking the most out of people, because when you think about it, in March 2024 until August, that was like the toughest one. Then we had the second one from December till April, till beginning of April, right, this year. And this one is definitely the, like, percentage wise and time wise, it's the smallest one. But I would say that it's really the fear of people of, like, everyone understands we are in a very low volatility period. Everyone understands that for your cycle top should be in basically in like 3 weeks, and people are worried about that. So they're like, even though that this is the smallest range we had, it feels like the scariest lately to lots of people, of course. But
Yeah.
I mean, all of those could actually come to fruition, right? But what you need is the price to confirm that. Until then, it's just your worry and speculation, and people need to separate those.
Yeah, I mean, I think just keeping it really simple. This is a pretty important level, right? And I think maybe Tucker was alluding to this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sorry, I just read this comment from Mario. It's it's a good one.
I don't know. There's just some guy I've never seen before in the comments just exhibiting premier freak anon behavior. Kind of what we were talking about yesterday. Never seen this guy. Came in here and is like, you know what? It's time to be a complete freak. That's what it is. It is freak o'clock. And it's time to be a freak, you know? I've never seen him before. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to say.
This is definitely the toughest time in the entire history of the whole crypto space. When it comes to sentiment, I don't think it's ever been this bad as it is right now.
No, it's terrible right now, Jack. It's terrible right now. Max, what were you about to say about this little green zone? Is that what you're talking, like that 107, 105?
Yeah, just you obviously don't want to see us down below this region. I think it ends up becoming an incredibly vulnerable structure if you spent so much effort moving up above, you've been stair stepping this entire way, right? And if you start to lose this low, in a meaningful way, then I think you certainly have some problems, right? All right, I think I'm just gonna block this guy. He's starting to annoy me. It was fine for a little bit, but it's just I've never seen him before, and he's just just being a freak. But I think just keeping it really simple, you wanna see this structure hold here, obviously. So keeping it very simple. And if we go over and we look at like the
Guys, was
Bitcoin
it
boomer chart.
what was sentiment worse after FTX?
Then right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
You think so? It didn't feel like to me that way back then.
You mean like at 17K.
Yeah, so like price was down, but I don't feel that the sentiment was as bad as it is today, right? Obviously, the price was lower, at least for Bitcoin, but I feel like the sentiment is much worse nowadays than it was back then.
I don't know.
But maybe that's just like my observation, and I suppose it can be different for someone else. I think my reasoning for that is that because when FTX happened, right, when you actually look at the chart, it was let me see, right, that was from the 2021 top. That was literally just 360 days after the top. That's actually not that bad, right? It's just like 360 days, like 1 year. But even if you're gonna look at the alts, they are like from the March 24 top, right, where lots of alts either topped or have been ranging since. That's till now. That's nearly 600 days, which is nearly twice as much. Well, not twice as much, but 1.5 point as much as after FTX. So I think that time is taking more out of people than the price drop that happened during FTX. But maybe that's just my observation. Obviously, you have to add to that the fact that lots of alts have not done much since since FTX actually, or since May 2022. So in that regard, I do not know. I feel like people expected the market to finally move, and it still isn't. Now it feels like the Fourier cycle is kicking in, and everyone's in the gutters. So, but maybe FTX was worse. Who knows?
I want to talk about this pair here, guys. This is the ETH Nasdaq pair. We were talking, I think maybe a couple weeks ago, at least, about the potential for a throwback into this trend line that we broke out of. This is a 4-year trend line that goes back to 2021. I think this level makes a lot of sense to hold. And obviously, if you don't hold it, then we have some bigger problems. But I think the fact that you were able to actually shift market structure, get above this high from November 2024, and you're just throwing back into this, trend line right here. I think there's a decent chance that this could be a bottom for the Ethereum Nasdaq pair chart. And that generally agree with what you were saying, Jack, is where at this point, crypto's probably just going to wait for equities to finish dinking around.
Mm-hmm.
So like here's QQQ, and then here's the ETH QQQ pair. This chart will probably spring pretty damn hard off of this low.
Yeah.
When you see the NASDAQ start to recover, right?
Yeah, what can happen though is that ETH doesn't really move as much, but QQQ could puke, and the pair above goes higher, and then both will bottom, right? QQQ and ETH, and but since QQQ puked more, then that pair will already be higher, and then they both catch up and they both go higher again. If that makes sense, but I just
Yeah. No, it does make sense. I think there was a good example in.
This is true too.
I mean, this is a prime example of what you're talking about here. This was October of 2023, where the NASDAQ, was selling off pretty hard here. And at that same time, you saw the ETH NASDAQ pair move up pretty hard. So we'll see if we get something similar to that. But I do think that you should expect this region to hold for the Ethereum NASDAQ pair. I do.
Yeah, this is a fair point too. Obviously, but there is lots of people actually, like a bad sentiment towards Bitcoin as well, I would say. And obviously, it's disastrous in the alt space. But there's lots of people, looking at BTC and are like, yeah, this doesn't look good. The overall market, like stocks have been ripping, Bitcoin has not. What happens if stocks drop, right? And then the 4-year cycle seasonality is, they are still calculated in. So I obviously, again, flavors in the alt sector, but I would say that even for Bitcoin right now, the sentiment is getting close to fear.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had asked about the tether dominance high sweep. So we did talk about that. Was like how I opened the show today, but I'll just do a quick reminder because I know that takes a minute for everybody to get in here. We did perfectly sweep these equal highs as of this morning. So this is the region in which I'm hoping we can find a top for tether dominance. And I think just zooming in ultra locally here, I think we are set up for a couple things. Like this is a potential deviation. I could see this red box still getting tagged, certainly. Like if they wanted to like scam you higher like that and then roll it over, that's fine. But yes, this is what we were looking for, was for those higher time frame equal highs to get swept, because the criminals just never leave behind a set of juicy equal highs on the tether dominance chart. They just simply do not do it. Yeah. Max, what's your take on ETH forming high time frame head and shoulders pattern? So I don't know if I see what you're talking about, because when I look at ETH, I view this as like the most significant SR flip that ETH has maybe ever had. Can drag this down a little so we hit all these highs. But I view this as an incredibly important high time frame retest of a 4-year resistance level, right? This, 3,800 to 4,100 held price down for 4 years, and we finally get above it, throw back into it, and then everybody's calling cycle top. So I don't know if at this point I see the structure that you're talking about. I don't really see this as a head and shoulders pattern. And I also don't view it as like a PO3 where, I've seen people also suggesting like, oh, this is a, deviation right here, and we're going to go back down. I don't view that as accurate, because I think this was our range low. And I think that we already deviated, you took out this low. So it's not like you had like a walk up without taking out the liquidity and all these lows first. This is now a symmetrical deviation of this higher time frame range. So I don't view this even really as that vulnerable of a structure. I just view it as this is really simple. Don't even need all these lines. Like, I just simply view it as like, this is a super important level, and you should expect this to hold. And I think you could maybe see, a little lower, like we could come back into this weekly order block right here at like 38 something, 37.50 maybe, if they really wanted to do something. But I think generally things look just fine. Higher time frame, like this just looks like you ripped higher, you flipped the most important level on the chart, you're throwing back into it.
No, I agree. I think this is a good spot to bid. Good.
Sorry, I I didn't want to step in. But what do you guys think of the Fourier cycle being over now? Because I start to see finally people coming up and postponing their goal, either saying that the Fourier cycle could extend into 2026 of like Q1, or saying entirely that it's like a Ron Paul, for example. Sorry, not Ron Paul. Raoul Paul. Raoul
Yeah.
Paul. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
Raoul
Said
Pal.
that
Raw
Raoul
pal.
Paul. Sorry. Said that it's no longer Fourier cycle, it's a 5-year cycle. But I don't think that either. But in either case, you guys know I've been saying the Fourier cycle is no more for a while. I'm now starting to see people, sort of like slightly sneak that in. Do you still think the Fourier cycle is in, or it's getting halted?
I don't think you can say that it's in if there's no blow off top, honestly. Like, I don't think you can just wait for a date and be like, all right, top's in, like, regardless of what price action happens. Like, I think if we don't get a blow off top in some point in Q4, then sure, 2026. But I still kind of think we will, honestly. So we'll see.
I think that I think it will for sure be an extended cycle, because I think that what happened in Q1 really pushed us back. I made a video on this like a month ago. The idea that, not that we're going to be in like a 7-year cycle or something. I guess I'd be happy. I'm fine being wrong on that. Like, that'd be good for business, right? I just think that um at minimum you'll see this extend out into like the end of Q1, early Q2 of next year. Because I think the market was pretty much ready to go in like December, and we had a horrible sell-off that just kind of derailed the timing of things. So I wouldn't say I'm on board with like adding another couple years or something like that, but I do think that at minimum we have an extra 3 to 6 months that we haven't had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
what do you think, Chef?
Well, I do think what I kept on saying is that it doesn't make sense. The Fourier cycle doesn't make sense to me anymore, because that was based on halvings predominantly, and they no longer matter, or they're like, the level of how they matter is so little that they basically don't. It's why lots of the models that were based on them, like the stock to flow, have been broken already, and also the time for them is now broken. I think the market was ready to repeat it, and I was saying that I don't think it will be playing out already in like 2023. But I was like, all right, it can keep happening. But where it really diverged to me was December 2024, when ETH rocked and didn't follow through. Because if it didn't and it kept going up with all the alts, then we would have had entire 2025 bullish, just perma up, everyone making big gains, and that would be it. And then yes, the 4-year cycle would still be on. The way that what happened in Q1 changed everything. And from here, I think we are in a new uncharted territory, in which the cycle, you cannot say it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 year. It's a new cycle that's currently getting like determined for years to come, and it will be determined by demand and how much people believe, and that can happen through the years. So it can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, who knows how long. Yes, I'm saying we can be trending for the next 3 years easily, or it can be done by the next one. We'll see. What I'm saying is what I've been saying this whole time. We have to remain bullish as long as the market is, which means as long as the structure is, or some people say as long as Jackis is, but you don't need to require on me. You have to just watch the price. And so do think this again. I think it's higher for longer, where we get these semi corrections in middle and then continue to trend for higher. And I think it sort of kind of meshes with what Sosafly is saying here, which is something I've also been saying in the past would be nice. But I don't think it will happen by exchanges nowadays. I think it will happen naturally, where we had the dilution, it's going to start chasing the quality again, and it's going to become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But people will be so tired with all of these shits that doesn't do anything but extract liquidity. And they will simply, start believing in a few that will keep catching the mind share for years to come. And that's will be like a natural like opposite of the dilution. I'm not sure what the right word for it, but yeah. So I don't think Fourier cycle makes sense again in TLDR, because it was based on Bitcoin halvings, and with how much coins are out there nowadays, and how very little are getting issued with each halving, it no longer matters as much.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
It became a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it played its part in its early days, but they matter no more.
Yeah, I look at the others chart here, and I mean, this just feels like a high time frame breakout brewing at some point, right? I just don't know if I don't know if I can shake this view here that we're like somewhere in here and it's about to break a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't one altcoin. This is obviously like the basket, this is everything outside the top 10.
I think this is right. And again, where people are very confused is because people a lot of the times cannot simply create a context of their own, and so they require either on prior cycles to compare them to, or they require on like the Fourier cycle, which is again comparing it to the prior cycles, and that narrative fits no more, and that's what leaves everyone confused. But if you're gonna simply look at this chart from like the chart perspective, and do not look at it from a time perspective, like look at it from a time perspective, but not from like a time perspective compared to prior cycles, and then if you're gonna look at it, you see a very clear multiple year long accumulation with the deviation during 2022 and 23, and it becomes very obvious that this chart is sending to the north.
And if we look at the king shitcoin Doge, it just still feels early cycle to me. Like, Doge is the market froth barometer, right? And we've talked about this idea too of cancel out the Trump pump, right? Like, pretend it doesn't exist. If that Trump pump didn't happen, and let's say you did something like this instead, just kind of chopped in here, this would look I think that's throwing a lot of people off. And we've talked about this before.
That too.
People would be looking at this as like a stairway to heaven pattern,
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll obviously steepen, maybe even go backwards.
We definitely do need to go backwards in time and erase that.
If we could go backwards in time, that would probably help me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think when you just remove that Trump pump, not like it didn't happen, but just, I think it's throwing a lot of people off. And just view it like this. This doesn't feel like you're about to like enter some bear market. It feels like you're like still pre-froth, pre-mania, right?
Yeah.
We've never seen a cycle like, not just with crypto, but even equities, right? Like, we haven't seen cycles before with TradFi where it's like towards the end of the cycle, you don't see that flow of capital from, safety down to risk. that's just markets in general, right? That's not something that's like unique to crypto, to see money flow from Bitcoin to ETH to smaller caps to, beta, right? So to me, it very much so just looks like we are pre-risk, and it's just taken so long, right? It has just taken such a long time, which is, causing people a lot of stress, right? Me too.
Mind you, Max, long time in terms of crypto, but not long time in terms of stocks or markets in general, which is important to mention.
That's true. That's true, Jackus.
Yeah.
Very true.
By the way, Man I Love Cats said, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Now, I think you will financially. I don't think you'll ever mentally recover from this.
True.
Fair.
They are so cute when they fight. Bull market till 2027. I like that.
I think what you meant to say was cycle top is in.
Mm-hmm.
And we will never pump again.
Yeah, correct.
Indeed.
We're just in this like pre-bull market bullshit right here, Not bull market in terms of Bitcoin, but like altcoins, Like you're just doing some bullshit like this, And again, even more confluence that we talk about this, I feel like every damn day, is look at the Russell, right? So we're talking about that flow, like that trickle down of capital, right? Like we spent so much time talking about this. This is US small caps. This gets bid way, way, way after something like the NASDAQ goes into price discovery. Because you see Mag 7, mega cap tech, rip, and then you see a huge rotation down the risk curve and people start rotating into small cap shitcos, right? And if we look at this chart, Russell goes into price discovery here, technically just had that same sweep over here. I think there's a serious case to be made for like, this is just a longer cycle. Maybe it's an extra quarter or 2 or 3. It certainly won't look exactly like this, but the point is, this is when things should start to heat up, not cool down, unless like you don't ever see that rotation into small caps.
There is actually one cycle that nobody is comparing it to, the current one, and I think it's the most precise one, and it's if you're gonna go on a Russell back to 2014 till 16.
All right, 1 second. Let me just point this out quick, and then we're gonna look at that one. Previous all-time high, and then just say this was previous all-time high. I mean, you can see that. Look at the time difference between when the NASDAQ goes into price discovery versus when US small caps go into price discovery. And then look at Doge goes into price discovery over here. So it'll be even later, right? I think the cycle is, I think it's on track. It's just slower, right? Jackus, you wanted to go back to 2014, you said?
On the Russell.
IWM. This one? Or over here? 2011, 2013, 14, or?
Let me see on my chart. Yeah, it's the Yeah, it's actually been even before. It's been the 2007 till 2013. But yeah, that's what
So
that.
you're viewing this as like this was your high and then price discovery over here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at it, huh? IWM. Go to the same 2-day time frame. So this one, it took 2,000 days. And so far, if we want to mark it from here, it's been 1,400. If we want to go back to like right here, 1,600. But yeah, I mean, this probably makes some sense.
What happened after was the first ever altcoin season.
Let's just pull up Doge, right?
I only have Doge from 2014, I think. But yeah, even that.
Yeah,
You would
I mean,
have to
obviously
go-
Doge didn't even exist back here,
You-
but
Yeah. But there was first one back then. Very, very early innings.
I mean, we could just look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin was beta of beta of beta back then, right?
That's true.
You know, we didn't even need altcoins yet. Bitcoin was, you know, $20. So you can see here when US small caps went into price discovery, Bitcoin went from $15 to $1,300, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, why is this guy so mad again? We got a bunch of mad guys here, man. This Uber guy now. He's been coming at me since he joined in here. I've never seen him before. What did I do to you guys? You know, like what did I do? I'm just talking about indexes, you know? Why don't you guys just stop matching patterns? Because then Traders Hub, I've seen him before. Now he's turning, you know, now he's mad. I mean, guys, what is the deal? You know, like we come on here, we talk about really complex stuff that's very difficult, and we just got a bunch of salty guys in the comments. You know, it's so strange. Like you don't have to watch it. Like you really don't have to. I'd prefer if you did.
Maybe just continue with what you are cooking on.
Max, are you a Jew controlling the market? All right. Well, now I'm just going to ban you, man. Now I think you're being insincere.
Wow.
No offense. Too late. Too late. It's too late. You can't just say whatever you want to say and then be like, just kidding. You know, it doesn't work like that. My goodness. My goodness. You know, guys, we talked about this yesterday. I'm just saying, you don't know what you have till it's gone. Like, keep it up. You know, don't go scaring everybody off with freakishness. It's just, I can just jump on a call every day with Tucker and Jackus and just bro down, have fun, drink some coffee, and talk about the charts. We don't have to do it publicly. It's that painful, you know?
It's true.
All right, this guy's gone too. See ya. You've been yapping way too much. Anybody else want to get banned? Go for it. We're going to go on a little ban streak. If you're feeling like getting banned, if you're like, I can't take it anymore, I'm here by my own recognizance. I'm here as my own decision, but I would like to get banned. Go for it. We'll do like a 60-second ban spree. If you're feeling it, go for it. It's insane, bro. Like I don't even read the comments. I'm just like checking in, and I'm just seeing people just freaking out. It's wild.
This reminds me of the old. It was a prank, bro. It was a prank.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Dude.
It's a good one.
Soy products.
What about soybean chart?
Well, somebody asked for stable earlier, Max. You want to do stable? STBL?
This?
No.
This?
USDT. Yeah, there you go.
What am I looking at? Is this Aster? Looks like Aster.
Does that?
Well, I think it's going lower from here. This ain't good.
You don't like it?
I don't like that. I don't know anything about it, but
Max, what do you think about this?
Yeah. Fresh chart listed on Binance Perps. Pumped, swept high.
That's your level. That's your level right there. Anchored VWAP 2618. Fibs are playing. I think you got this too. Little value area high. I think it's a decent bid spot right here.
I think you're going to want to see this hold, or you're coming right down into this slot.
You're coming down into 0.3s. I agree.
I think my chart's
Max, read
frozen.
this one. Read this one. Max?
Yep.
I think you're frozen.
I definitely think I'm frozen. Okay.
Did you read the
I
comment?
think we appreciate your time and effort you put into these video live streams. Don't let the bad apples ruin for everyone else who's enjoying the show. Well, thank you. That's why we keep doing it. We know that it's always the squeaky wheel, right? It's 9 out of 10 people tune in. They want to hear commentary on the market, right? And then you just get some freaks from time to time. But we'll keep showing up. But it's very strange to see some of the behavior, from what I can only imagine is grown men. But yeah, I have no idea. It's super strange.
Maybe it's a teenage man.
They act like it. See if I can get my trading view is acting really, really slow right now. There's no way that's correct. Oh, shit. That's not even on the right setting. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I think you want to hold the top of this VWAP cloud. Otherwise, you're coming down into this region. Like super clean range here. Like you're at your mid range is super clean. Just don't love that you have, deviation of high. If you don't hold this region, then I think you come here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think you could spec this region, and if it doesn't hold, then bid like 30 cents.
30 cents. Yeah.
I mean,
that.
there's a lot of reason you need to hold this level, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it really needs to hold here. Otherwise, you're going down to 30 cents. That's how I view it. Am I frozen right now? Or
No.
was I frozen?
Good. You were for like half a second. I think you're good. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. You get 30 to 35 cents if you can't hold like 45, 44.
Yeah.
But
Let's see here. I'll drop volume profile. Oof. I don't know. Back inside value, failed breakout. I don't know. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't think it looks terrible yet, but it looks vulnerable to me.
mhm.
Pepe ETH pair. Interesting. I think, you could maybe see it dip down here again, double bottom, but to see it green on the day, it's not bad.
ETH looks like it will make another low.
What do we think of MicroStrategy here?
I don't like this, man. But I still do think it comes back up. I think this is a big shakeout here.
I mean, you are at your legacy trend line. That's for sure.
Yes, that's my hope. I think if it were to get below it, then and I think this is like the market sort of worrying about the 4-year cycle being in. And if that were the case, then yes, MSTR goes slower, but so does everything else, and that's not good. And so I don't think that's the case, though. I think when that fear passes and the market turns around, then MSTR will go and reprice quickly to the upside. Unless the cycle top is in, and in that case, we will never pump again.
Yeah.
Never again.
Well, I still think MSTR looks bad against Bitcoin. I've been saying that for a while, but it doesn't mean it can't move up. We just need Bitcoin to recover. MSTR ETH still looks bad. MSTR total looks bad. I don't really have a problem with MSTR as much as I do just the pair charts look not constructive at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I still do think that if Bitcoin breaks from this low volatility to the upside, which again is what the market, is currently having the trend on, then it takes MSTR with it for the big repricing. So it just like, to me, it's either two outcomes right now. Either truly 4-year cycle is in, alts have not pumped, and ETH barely touched all-time highs, and that's it. Or we continue the trend through the next year and possibly even more years. BTC still goes parabolic and gets first overheated. And if that's the case, then I think MSTR will be sitting on such a large amount of money that the stock must capture that value. Like it's one thing, right? Like there can be another Bitcoin company that holds 10,000 Bitcoins and it's a new one and people can be thinking of it as a beta. But how much do you think, like the thing is that that other company that holds, let's say 10,000 Bitcoins, right? And Bitcoin goes up, they'll make a nice profit. But imagine how much profit does MicroStrategy make sitting on 600,000 Bitcoin? And the market is, again, depends on the outcome here of BTC. See, they are not only hating on you, Max.
It'd be better if Jaggers would not join. Only jokes with. Bro, what is going on?
No idea.
People are just mean. Like, you guys know damn well if you met us in person, you'd be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, guys? I watch your show. Nice to meet you." But you're in the comments being assholes to a bunch of nice guys doing their best. You know what the thing is? The truth is, we show up and we do our best every day. And if our best is not enough for you, if our best is not enough, then you can go somewhere else. Because that's all we can offer. We offer all that we can offer. We all work our hardest. If that's not enough, there's plenty of other channels.
Now, this is factually wrong because you are coming out of lowest monthly volatility period in history of Bitcoin, and you would also break hard time frame structure. So this is like a bearish wild dream that will never happen. You either are getting long bear market both time and percentage wise, or you're not getting the levels that you wish for. Let me tell you, if you are eager to buy 90 or 80K, you will love it at 60, 50, or maybe even 20.
Or maybe even 20.
Yeah, Max, your screen's been frozen for like 5 minutes.
Is it frozen right now?
Oh, it just snapped out of it.
Damn, I've been charting. Can you hear me though? Have you been able to hear me?
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Okay. Weird.
And I don't know if your trading view was frozen, but your face was frozen.
I mean, I look at the MSTR Doge chart and it looks kind of similar to what happened over here. No?
Sorry?
When I look at the MSTR Doge chart, this looks like it wants much, much, much lower.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just no one said anything, and I've been having problems, so I didn't know.
Looks like a range.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. On another note, where has Dad been? Is that Will?
I think
Stock portfolio been up since that Tesla. Thanks. Will has a job that is pretty demanding during the day. So definitely a big miss not having him here, but he's still in our Discord. Like, he's posting updates. He does weekend streams in there too. Tesla does look quite interesting here. Tesla looks very interesting here.
Oh, that's good right there.
Well, All right. Well, I think I'm gonna take us out today. Say decent stream. Covered some good stuff. Didn't get a lot of respect, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks to those that are here being cool. Greatly appreciate it. We will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. Check out bbterminal.com, guys. It's the link that's above the charts on the screen. Built out our own version of Deck Screener. I think it's premier in every single way possible. We got order execution coming in a few weeks. It's going to be your all-in-one place to track your portfolio, chart your shit coins, actually execute literally everything all in one super website. It's going to be awesome. Consider making that switch. We have cool features like really intricate wallet analysis tools, things like that, holder analysis for projects. Pretty cool. So definitely consider making the switch. Again, that is 100% free. There's a premium option there, but if you want to use it for free, consider supporting us, bbterminal.com. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. We will see you guys again tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and take care.